Classic.
According to the FBI, there are 30 serial killers active in the USA right now. And these people will have friends, family, and workmates. So you may be thinking, is there anyone you know who seems a little bit off, maybe slightly strange? Well, there are some telltale signs that someone you know is a serial killer. Watch out for these signs, and you never know, you could be friends with the next Ted Bundy. I'm Charlie, and today we're going to look at 10 ways to know if someone is a serial killer. But before I'm taken out for giving away this info, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too? Coming up first, we have high IQ. Now, you may think that someone with a high IQ would do a really good job.
Now you're in big trouble,
Maybe
chat.
they'd be a lawyer or a doctor or a billionaire stockbroker. Surely they wouldn't waste their life taking other people's lives. Well, that is where you would be wrong. Think about it, serial killers have to be able to take out a lot of lives without ever getting caught. Otherwise, they'd just be singular killers, not serial killers. And according to a profile of many captured serial killers, they're all very, very intelligent. Many of America's top serial killers have what is known as superior intelligence on the IQ classification scale. For example, John Wayne Gacy and Ted Bundy had an IQ of around 113, and Ed Kemper had an IQ of 140, which is genius. They used their intelligence to manipulate and convince various people of doing things for them. For example, Ed Kemper, who took 10 lives, convinced a psychologist to release him early. He somehow convinced psychiatrists that he had reformed and was now normal. That was after he took the life of his grandparents. So the psychiatrists let him go, but he went out and took 8 more lives. So if you know someone who's very intelligent or maybe even a genius, then watch out. Next up is shiftlessness. Shiftlessness is lacking ambition or being lazy. Despite serial killers often being very intelligent, they actually have a lot of trouble keeping a job. Most serial killers have patterns of getting jobs and being fired pretty quickly. They're not very motivated, often miss days, and are usually fired by their employers. They also don't usually use their intelligence in their work. They may use it in their murderous side hustles, but not actually in their jobs. And despite having genius IQs, they often work in unskilled labor, or they just don't have any job at all and live with their parents. Next up is small animals. I'm pretty sure we all knew that one creepy kid growing up who'd mess with animals. Well, harming small animals is actually the strongest sign that someone may turn into a serial killer. If you knew someone who as a kid harmed things like birds, squirrels, cats, dogs and insects, then watch out. All of these things mean they have very, very low remorse, or no remorse at all, meaning they're psychopathic. For example, as a child, serial killer and cannibal Jeffrey Dahmer would bike around the woods. He would then collect various animals in the woods and take their lives. He even once took the life of his own puppy dog, putting its head on a stake when he was done. And Joseph Stalin, who I guess was kind of a serial killer, would take the wings off flies as a kid. You see, many serial killers want to control other people's lives. But as children, the only lives they can control are that of animals who have no power. Next up is antisocial behavior. If someone, especially as a child, is very antisocial, then this is a big warning sign. Now, some children do develop more slowly, so this is not definitely a sign. But pay attention if you see a child regress from being very sociable to extremely antisocial. For example, Ed Gein, who was the inspiration for Psycho's Norman Bates and Silence of the Lambs' Buffalo Bill, had no social connections. The only social connection he had was his own very crazy mother, and his mother actually punished him whenever he tried